I'm going to show you how to take a font, add color to it, and make it something really special. So we're going to try one, make the word summer. So we're going to need to get our S first, because that's going to be the special one. So we're going to hit our S, and then we're going to type the final words after it, U-M-M-E-R. Okay, so we're going to take that and move it over here and leave it set. This one here, I want to give it an unusual font, and I did it earlier. We're going to do it in QFD Beach Toys. Now, you may not have that font, but it is available in the Silhouette store. I'm going to go down there to that particular one, and we're going to get our S looking really cute. I'm going to get up here to Beach Toys. It's hard to tell which one it is. Nope, not that one. There it is. All right. It's kind of hard to see because it's small, but when I pull it up, it's really cute. It's kind of blah right now. We want to make it so it has a little bit of color. So in order to do that, we're going to click on this, right-click, ungroup, then right-click again, and release compound path. What that does is it gives everything its own little box. So we don't want to mess with these at all. So we're going to go in really close so that we can get this line right here and pull it away. And then we're going to go back out. We're going to pull that off to the side. Basically, that fills in the colors in here and the S. So we'll go over to our color, and we're going to make that a pretty darn, I'm not sure exactly, maybe this color. It would help if I select it first. So we'll do that. We'll leave that for now. So now we want to change these colors. This particular one here, we need to move it off to the side because we have a bird back here. And sorry, we'll pull him over that way because we're going to change his color. We're going to put this back, and we want to make sure we get it lined up pretty good. So we're going to zoom in again. And you can see it's a little off. So I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to use the arrow keys to move it over so I can really have a good way to keep it just exactly what I want. I'm going to go up and check up here to make sure it looks really, really good. So we'll zoom back out. Now we want to change the color to that, and it looks pretty good the way it is, but let's see if that's the lightest blue, because that's going to be your sky. And we're going to click on this one, and we want it to be a little darker blue. And this piece right here needs to be also that darker blue. And we will click on this one, and we'll go with the darkest blue. So now you have your water is all set. So now let's go in, and we're going to click on this one. This is our little bucket. We'll make it red bucket with a yellow scoop. And then we're going to go over to our beach ball. I'm going to click on this one and make it yellow. And next one, make it green. If you're having trouble clicking on each piece, if you zoom in, that will help. We're going to go to the red, and the last one will be blue. Yep, wrong one, over here. And I don't know whether you noticed, but that piece moved just a tiny bit, so I'm going to use the arrow key just to move it back a little bit. That's better. And we'll click on this, and it'll be yellow. Then we'll go to the green, and over here to the red. Whoop, got too much there. There's a red. And as you do this more often, you'll be able to catch them a lot easier. And this top piece, we're going to make it white, but when you do the print, it'll just show up as background white paper. So now we've got that all done, and so we're going to take this and move it over and see if we really want the S to be that color, or if we want a different color. I might want to make it just a tad darker. I think that's better. That's much better. You can always make it, whatever color. And you see it's way off. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in again. And I'm going to use the arrow keys to bring it over so I have a good margin all the way around. That's pretty close. I'm going to go over to the other side. Oh, as you can see, it's not, it needs to go down a little bit here. Oops, go back a little bit. I think we're pretty close though. That looks pretty darn good. And you're not going to notice it if it's off a little bit, unless you're OCD. Then you need to work with it more. But for now, I think it looks really good. We need to put our bird. We're going to click on this one and get a dark gray, and this and get a light gray. I may change that. I want to make that a little grayer. I think that's better. I'm going to click on this one and make it a little darker. Now black works. I'm going to stick that on there, and as you can see, I got it pretty close, but I want to check it, so I'm going to zoom in again, and it looks really good. So let's select both right now and group that and scroll out. Now we want to make this so that I need to bring this to the front. Bring to front and stick our little bird on there. Now, if I go to the send screen right now, which I will do, you'll see that actually this is just going to cut around the outside. So we'll hit cut, so it makes it not quite so. Now I have something else, this little piece right here. We want no cut on that. Interesting. That little piece right there wants to no cut. There we go. So now that is set to where it will cut around the outside and not cut the pieces. But you see when I select them all, they're all together. So we need to group that so it's easy to move around. I don't know. Oh, I didn't select it all. There we go. Now we've got them all selected. When it grouped, it left those two out. It should. There we go. We've got everything we need. Looks really good. And so when we go to the send screen, we've got just the outside is going to cut. The rest will print. We'll go back to the design. And then we can work on our summer or umber. And change that font a little bit. I used Beauty Alicia script. So I may use that again. I used it. Liked it once, and we'll just type it in here. Beauty Alicia. Should be. Not exactly sure what happened to it. We don't want that. That works. That's close enough. So we're going to fill that in with a color, probably kind of a peachy color. Let's enlarge it. So now you can, I'm not really sure I like that. We'll lighten it up a little bit. That's better. So you can cut this out separately out of different cardstock. Right now, if you look closely, you'll see that the letters are overlapping, so it would end up cutting that out of that M. So we want to weld that. Right click and hit weld. You can see it's now gone. So it'll cut as one continuous piece. So if you want to bring to the front, say you want on your page, you want it to look like this. But it's like how am I going to know if I want to do that? So we're going to do an offset. We're going to select all of this, right click and group. Then we're going to go to the offset panel, click on offset. It takes a second. And that's going to work. Don't worry about all these overlapping lines. They'll go away when I hit apply. Hit apply. And you now see it's one piece. So we can take this and color it in. Probably a brown would be good. I wonder if I like that brown. Well, let's make it just a tad lighter. More like sand. All right. So, well, you know, I would like to have a frame around that. Well, that's very easy to do. Let's line this up just a little bit. Oops, going the wrong way. That looks good. So right now we say, okay, it's a little bit large, but we're going to make our frame. And we're going to go over here and get a frame. I like the rounded corners. It fills with color that we'd used last, so we're just going to click on no color. And figure that's at the size. It's about 5 by 8. So it's going to fill up quite a bit of your page. You may want it to be a little less than that. So let's downsize that a little bit. But we need another frame around it so that we can fill it and have some substance to it. We're going to click on this, go back to offset, click on that, and that's a big enough frame. If you want a bigger frame, we can add more to it. If you just increase here, it gives you a wider frame. So we hit apply. We now have an offset, but there's 2 different ones there, so we need to click on that and right click and convert to path. Okay, then we need to right click again and make compound path. Now we have one continuous frame, and let's put some color in that. Make it that, but maybe right now I want to leave it just no color, and I'll show you why in a second. So now we're going to take this piece here. Actually, we need to leave this together for the time being. It doesn't have to be exact. And we're going to group it for the moment. So hit group, because we want to downsize it so it fits in this frame nicely. As you can see, it's way too big. So we're going to downsize it to fit in that frame. And we're mainly concerned with the outside pieces. I want a little bit bigger than that. So it's touching over here and touching on this side. All right, we're going to click on that again, right click and ungroup. Now we want to take this piece and move it off. So now we want this to be one whole piece. We're going to move it up just a tad. I want to make sure it's still touching. Right click, make compound path. Didn't work. Back up. Weld. There we go. Now the frame is the same as the background color. It's all one piece. We can bring this down. So once you bring this to the front so you can see it, once you cut it out, then you'll have a place to layer it and it'll look a little more finished for you. This section here would be print and cut, and this would be cut. You could print and cut it also, or you could cut it out of different colored cardstock or pattern paper, however you want to work that. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea on how to use some of your fonts and how to make a basic frame to add text to. Thank you.